am Professor Philip de Toit, a New Testament scholar at Northwest University, South Africa. I'm the main editor of the book Theological Perspectives on Reimagining Leadership in Post-COVID Africa. My associate editor is Professor Alfred Brunsden, a practical theologian, also at Northwest University. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought about profound changes in the way we live and perceive reality. While the post-COVID effects are global, this book focuses on the post-COVID reality on the African continent. Amidst the various hardships and challenges that the pandemic brought about, a major area in which the effects of COVID-19 were felt is the area of leadership. Since leadership on the African continent was already facing many challenges before the pandemic, the need for ethical, effective, and resilient leadership became even more pertinent in the post-COVID situation. In many respects, COVID-19 merely enhanced the inherent leadership crisis in Africa, exemplified by systemic corruption. In Africa, leadership is often tainted by favoritism, nepotism, tribalism, and other forms of corruption that often leads to poor infrastructure, poverty, unemployment, and various service delivery issues. The aim of this book is to provide perspectives on improving leadership from different theological subject fields. While there are existing publications on the theological understanding of leadership, this publication specifically focuses on addressing leadership in this unique time and space that we live in, on the African continent. Although the focus is on leadership in Africa, the leadership principles that come to the fore in this book are not confined to an African context. The book consists of 11 chapters, in which the first 5 chapters provide bibliological perspectives on leadership, 1 from the Old Testament and 4 from the New Testament. Chapter 1 discusses leadership principles from the book of Deuteronomy, written by Professor Albert Coetzee. In Chapter 2, Professor Francois Viljoen reflects on leadership as it comes to the fore in Matthew 23. In Chapter 3, Professor Elma Cornelius writes about avoiding the so-called power paradox that often follows newly appointed leadership by looking at the Apostle Paul as leader. In Chapter 4, I make a theological assessment of the theological leadership principles according to the Pauline letters. Chapter 5 advances the concept of bridgebuilding leadership in a post-COVID context, based on insights from 1 Peter written by Professor Kobus Kok. Chapters 6 and 7 provide practical theological perspectives on leadership. Dr. Rudy Denton writes on reimagining leadership in a post-COVID glocal village, that is local and global, to provide spiritual healing in pastoral care in Chapter 6. In Chapter 7, Professor Alfred Brunsden discusses healing nostalgia among congregational leaders in post-COVID Africa. Chapters 8 and 9 are written from a missiological perspective. Chapter 8 provides a perspective on uncertainty and certainty in a post-COVID world within a congregational and missional context, written by Dr. Christopher Magezi. In Chapter 9, Professor Nelis Niemand and Dr. Frederik Maree discuss missional leadership challenges for church leaders in a post-COVID environment. Chapter 10 provides an ethical perspective on leadership based on the view of John Rawls within a post-COVID context written by Professor Manitsa Kotsa. In the last chapter, chapter 11, myself and Professor Alfred Branston reflect on the contributions in this book. All contributions in this book are based on original research, each from the field of expertise of each researcher. While the bibliological perspectives provide detail on the character and foundation of biblical leadership, the practical theological and missiological contributions mostly address the desired outcomes of moral and ethical leadership. An ethical perspective on leadership further argues the ethical and moral underpinnings of virtuous leadership. According to the contributions in this book, the kind of leadership that is sought after is servant-based leadership, in which the needs of others are elevated above personal interest. Leadership should be just, fair, treat others as equals. Yet, from a Christian perspective, virtuous leadership cannot originate in a vacuum, but presupposes a conversion experience, God-centeredness, and a life that is animated by the indwelling Christ. Only then can a leader achieve the selfless attitude that is required of a virtuous leader, as is demonstrated by Christ's example. Then the negative, destructive spirals of corrupt, self-centered leadership can be reversed and bring about a real transformation in society, in which negative spirals can be transformed into positive spirals of hope, love, compassion, and resilience. Then spiritual formation can take place, in which people can grow into spiritual maturity. Then people can find assurance in God's sovereign reign, in which marginalized members of society can be drawn into a new identity. Then people can be equipped to face the new, changed reality and be emotionally restored, even if it differs from the so-called good times that is kept in remembrance. To summarize, the main thesis of the book is that leadership in Africa should be selfless, just and fair, based on Jesus' example, flowing from a conversion experience and animated by the indwelling Christ, leading to spiritual maturity and eventually hope, transformation, and restoration. We sincerely hope that you find the book helpful in addressing leadership issues in Africa.